Hi guys, welcome back to Studio B, where I'm still working on my Akari 150 points with company. I have my dog with me today. Yes, you're helping, aren't you? You just want food. So, how are we getting on? Pretty well, actually. We've got 6 out of the 9 models I need for the first game finished. So 3 to go, and they're all in various states of completion. So I think we're going to get there. I think we're going to get there with plenty of time to spare. And I might have to start working on some other things based on stuff you guys have said, planning ahead, that kind of stuff. So let me show you where we're up to. Okay, so that's what we have finished. We've got our Ninja Killer Hacker, which is going to use the Kunai Mercenary Ninja, as I think you've seen before. The HVT. And then at the back we've got 3 Kaisotsu, all with combi rifles, because they're going to give me cheap orders. I imagine I'm going to need them for filler at various points. And the first of the Tenko Zensen Butai, converted with a weapon swap, with a sling, which I think has come out quite nicely, and a coat, which he didn't have before, which again I think works quite well, looks pretty good. So they're the 6 that are done. Yeah, I like the fact that they all look ragtag. That was a good suggestion. I forget exactly who made it, but yeah, good idea. I stole it. Thank you very much for suggesting that. I think it works quite well. Allows you to try out some different colours and stuff that I wouldn't normally do. Oh yeah, the hoods on the Kaisotsu I think came out quite nicely as well. They definitely look like hooded parkas. That's quite good. So in progress, we have the other Tenko, who's going to be black and yellow. He's a work in progress. The Daiokai, who I want to do a red to black fade, but I haven't quite built up the courage to start that yet. So red at the top, black at the bottom, I think. It's just going to be a lot of very, very liquidy paints and wet blending, which is not something I do a lot of, so that could go horribly wrong. And the Yuan Yuan, who I keep toying with while I'm waiting for other stuff to dry. I'm happier with how it's looking now. I had an idea, I don't have the confidence that I had in it when I started it, but we'll see how we get on when we're finished. So, 6 down, 3 to go. That's good progress. I've been tinkering out with some other bits and pieces as well in the background, as always. None of us have hobby desks where we manage to stay on task. Well, no one I know has a hobby desk where they manage to stay on task, but we're getting there. I've got Star Trek for the company. I've got a dog keeping me awake by barking at me every 2 minutes for a treat. Yeah, I think we're going to get that well and truly done before I need them for my first game. That leads me on to what am I going to be doing with this, to get ahead of myself. I'm going to do the Rushi. Not sure I'm going to need the Luduan as often. I'm definitely going to want the Rushi at some point. Sorry, that's the Rushi, isn't it? So I think that's going to be coming up next. Just to get ahead of myself, because I want to convert that. I want the guns to look a bit more substantial. I mean, they're quite diddy, so I might try and make them look a bit chunkier, as if they pack a bit more of a punch. So that could take me a little while to get all that sorted out. I might start on Scarface as well, because that's going to take a while. But somebody had the good idea, and again, I forget who it was in the comments, of using the spaceship, the MDF ship that I've had sat on the shelves for ages, for them. So I kind of like that idea. It's for Defiance. Now come on, I can do this one-handed. It's not going to break. There we go. So yeah, it's actually intended to be the Stalker for Defiance, but so it's got interior and everything. But can I get it back on one-handed? That's the question. No, we can't. That's the answer. Not safely. But I think, yeah, painting that up now to go along with these guys would be a good idea. Which means it's going to need a name. We're going to need a name for the ship and for the little landing craft. The ship name needs to be something with 2 parts to it. Like we had the Flying Dutchman, the Black Pearl, something like that. Last Light. I quite like the Last Light. Yeah, have a think. If there's any suggestions, put them in the comments below. But I'm going to have a think. I'm not quite sure about that. And then something for the little ship as well. Although Stalker does work for that as well. Right then. So that's us done. I think I'm looking forward to getting them on the table. I haven't had a chance to get a game in them with them. Because, I'm weird. If they're not painted, they don't get at the table. So the first chance of getting a game is probably going to be when I play Tam and his Aleph. I don't think that's going to go well. I know he's had a couple of practice games, and I think he's done rather well with his. So we'll have to see. So yeah, not a huge update, but you know we are ticking along. The first section always takes the longest, getting the first 150 points painted up, because after that you only add in a couple of models. So we appreciate you sticking with us while we get there, and 150 point games are going to be coming very soon.
Hello ladies and gents, welcome back to another vlog for Torchlight Brigade, and the final vlog hopefully before the 150 point games. I'm really excited. I've got my 150 points painted now, so that'll be good. Hopefully I can at least have a nice core to build off with that, and I'm really excited to show you what I've done. Not even the Panda Discord has seen all the finished models, so I'll show those in a second. But after that I am going to need your help. So I've played a couple of games with Torchlight, and I've played a couple of 150 point games, and I've also tried dabbling in full 300 point proxy hell, and I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. However, because we're going to build this up as an escalation, actually the 300 point end I'm fine with. I've got a lot to play around with, but actually what am I going to do in the meantime? And I've looked at quite a lot of the profiles, and I'm almost at analysis paralysis. So I'm going to open it up to you guys. What do you reckon I should do next after the 150 points? But we'll cover that in a minute. But in the meantime, time to get straight on, and we can have a look at some of the painted minis. So here we are, in order of painted first and onwards. Obviously, you've all seen the my test model I painted even before I got the Torchlight box, but it is the Kappa Hacker. She's, to be honest, especially in lower point games, going to be really useful if I need some hacking coverage. Now, my first game is up against Claw, and I won't spoil it because you're about to see his vlog, or you've already seen it. But I'm not entirely sure hacking is going to be that much of an issue. I have seen the Dartok, don't know whether it's going to feature in his 100 point list, but I'm more concerned about the amount of teeth that's going to appear on the battlefield in the meantime. But she's definitely there for future games. And she was really good as a test piece, actually. She still needs basing, but I'm really quite happy with it. Next on was the one you saw in the awful state in my last vlog, but now complete. Silver Star Rover. I'm actually really happy with this. And I'm really happy with the way the base has turned out. Now, I still need to actually touch up that base because he's standing on a tactical rock that doesn't have any colour on it at the minute. But for the most part, I'm quite happy with it. Next up, and I think this is where the one miniature that's going to have to do the bulk of the work, especially in the lower point games, in terms of the actual missions themselves. It's the Strider. I do like this model, but I have to admit that weird short cloak is a bit... I'm not entirely sure what the point of it is. But okay, you know. The model itself I really quite like. The open faceplate is a bit of a unique one, but yeah. See how it goes. Right, next up, the Chonk, the big boy. And according to half the memes on Facebook, the one and only thing that carries this faction. I beg to differ with that one. Don't be wrong. I don't think you're going to see a Torchlight list without at least one prime in it. But I really like what's going on with this. So, yeah, he's got the classic misleading or misdirection of the sword. Because, yeah, okay, we've got a sword. But he's not that great in close combat. But, you know, he can hold his own against that. But I really like that ballistic skill attack -3, and to be honest, I'm not even jumping on the bandwagon of the Kreezer needs it back, because I play Tunguska. My burst 6 HMG Kreezer is perfectly fine as it is, thank you very much. That's not a problem. But no, I have played a couple of games, and actually that BS attack -3 is very useful, but it is not enough to hold everything. In fact, I'm sure Nexus, who I played a 150 point game, will happily testify that it goes down easily to linked HMGs and AROs. So that's probably just my dice, but you know, it is not indestructible. But he is going to be the backbone of this 150 point list. And then we've got my Hellblazer, which I really like this model. It's one of my favourites, especially with the pointing side of things. So it was really nice to paint. Still not entirely sure where the backpack was Seer Cast while the rest of it was metal. But no, I really had some good fun painting it. I really love the shield design on it. He's going to be a nightmare to put on the tabletop because his sword is going to prevent him from ever getting cover. But you know. And obviously, let's face it, if you're going to run Torchlight, you're going to run one of these as your lieutenant. And here's the newest edition, to my Torchlight Brigade. So he is going to be in there. I don't know if he's going to be in the 150 points. I've got options, so I can either run the Prime as a Lieutenant in the 150 point games and run the Kappa Hacker to give it some hacking coverage, or I ditch the Kappa Hacker and run the Raven Eye for an extra Lieutenant order, which the Strider can use in the midfield. But we'll see how it goes, to be honest with you. I'm not entirely sure. And this is where your help comes in, ladies and gents. So, we've got the lineup. Next up, I do have primed is the Nimrod. Now, a lot of people, seems to be 50-50 mix of opinions on the Nimrod, okay? I really, really like it. I have to admit, it doesn't necessarily fill a particular niche, because it's good at several things, but not the best at things. So, it's got MSV2, and it's got a marksman rifle, so you are able to take out visual mod threats in the midfield with it. But what I think it does do quite nicely is, if you're going second, use this as your reserve drop and plonk it next to something vital that you know your opponent's going to go for, and then drop it into suppression. And now, I normally, anyone who's seen any of my vlogs know I really do like putting things in the midfield in suppression, but even in your DZ in suppression, as long as you don't give it a massive fire lane that it can be picked off at range, he's really, really good, because most of the way to deal with suppressive fire mitches is to get a hacker within zone of control and hack it, because it's usually a heavy infantry piece, or try and smoke past it. You can't do either with this because he's medium infantry and he's got MSV2. On his own, he's got mimetism -3. You stick him in cover and you stick him in suppressive fire, you're instantly adding a -9 to whatever your opponent is. So he's quite good in that respect. I don't think that's his primary role, but in the games I have used him, I have done that. I left it as a reserve drop. Dropped him either next to my lieutenant to prevent him being killed by sort of berserking things running across the battlefield, or drop him in a point where an advance to an objective is within 24 and he's got a good line of sight and it can keep your opponent pinned down a little bit. He is a bit pricey for if you're just going to use him as that, because the chances are he is going to die, but he is going to cost a fair amount of orders, because it's a marksman rifle, and he's imposing that -9. There's no guarantee that even just a tag taking it on and face to face is going to deal with it. So it is one of those, there's no way to skew the dice enough against it to make it an unfair fight and therefore a guaranteed. So whenever you take it on in that situation, you are going to be dealing with a lot of luck. So that might work. So I think he's definitely going to be up in the next round as well. I have also thought about, just need to find it. Don't know where it is. Lost it. Okay, I was thinking about, there we go. The VDOC, because the VDOC profile is quite nice and tasty. So she needs undercoating and she'll need basing as well. But I thought about the VDOC, both this one and the marksman rifle profile. The sniper rifle profile. Both good options. And I do like the VDOC has also got the NCO in there as well, so if I am running the Raven Eye, I can use those lieutenant orders. But I'm not sure. So I think Nimrod possibly in the next one. But where do I go from here? So I'm 150 points with options, or here, and lovely. And if my thing could focus, please, that would be great. Okay, apparently it's not going to focus, so I'm going to come back into close range. So, my 150 points. Yes, I'm very aware, and it was semi-intentional, but I didn't realise it was going to come off quite like that. I have painted essentially the Space Broncos. But we'll see how it goes. So where do we go from here? So any suggestions you've got, any thoughts you might have, put it down in the comments. Thanks to those of you who've already commented. I'm going to start putting together the Raptor remotes for my Moonrakers in the midfield, and probably one of those will make it into the next list as well. I've also picked up the Psychop marksman rifle, because I might be able to make use of that as well in lower point games. I'm not sure about larger games, but definitely in lower point games it might come in handy. But any and all thoughts, if you want to stick them down in the comments. And thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, and I'll catch you hopefully on the 150 point battle report. See you later.
So I've just been playing a game with Copper. It'll be out in about 6 weeks. Really good game, if I do say so myself. Yeah, dice rolls, great. Anyway, Stormchild said I had to do another vlog. So yeah, I'm here having to do another vlog. And as we stand now, I've got just less than a week to get these guys done, ready for my first game against Void. And so far, so good. I am really pleased with these guys, the Taurochs. Not a fan of that model, this Lieutenant option. He's pretty good. But do you know what? They've come out really quite well. The Gakis and Predators, quite pleased with. The Jawbroke, T-Rex thing, not a fan. Do you know what? He's red. I'm not happy. So comments below, what do you think? If I was going to repaint him, what colour should I do? Because that's not doing for me. That's the Army Painter red. Not a fan. Not a fan at all. These guys, green and orange, even though it looks like a more of a leather colour. But they came out okay. I'm happy with them. They'll do. For running towards them and exploding and all that kind of stuff, or just cheap orders. They still certainly do. I'm reasonably happy with those. The armour, the violet, we did a vote on our Discord, and this is one that came out that won. Really kind of pleased with these guys. Really quite happy with the little bit of pink that ties it all in with my combined army anyway. Yeah, so these came out well. Spitfire guy, he's mostly armour. You can just see one eye through there. But yeah, he's there, he's pretty cool. And I've got, less than a week to paint these two. Because this one turned up late, but I didn't want a proxy. I had to green stuff out the tactical rock because it didn't look right on those kind of bases. So I've just turned it into a chunk of concrete. I'm going to put some numbers on it. It looks like a concrete marker or something. So that might work. We'll have to see. Went together pretty well. But yeah, I've got a lot of work to do on that one. This guy, I've done a fair bit on him. He's mostly armour, so it's not too bad at all. So it'll be bits of pink, bit of that copper red colour for the sword and some things. So he's actually not going to be far off done. It doesn't look great at the moment, but it's not going to take me too long to get him finished. It's really her that I'm going to be struggling with to get ready for next weekend, because I'm over to Void for that first game, which not far away. So this is going to be roughly my army. Out of here I'm going to make 150 points. Tips and help below, please. As with all of us, if you've got any ideas that you can share, any suggestions, pop them in that comments below. Let us know what you think and how we would use them. What's the best way, any synergies that you might see in any of the four armies. Let us know, because we're always interested. We do read them, and it's always cool to find out. So what else is there? You know what, I've been reading this book. I don't know if you're new to Infinity and all the thing. A lot of people say there's not much lore. Well, actually that's wrong. There is. You get these books, and Raven Eye is one of the latest ones. And in these books, you've got background and stuff for all the factions. And in this one, it's got the Morats. Now, I've never bothered reading the Morats bit, because why would I? Because I've not had Morats. Yeah, so in here, it's got all the background to the Morats. Some lovely big pictures. Hunting party. That's kind of what I'm going for. I like the idea of that. So that, if you want to have a read through, is what I'm going to go for. I like the feel of it. I like the idea of it. Talking to Stormshroud and Copper earlier, and they said it's the Morat hen party, because females are cropping up. I've got 4 so far in my armies. So I think the Morat hen party would be funny. The Morat hunting hen party, that's what I'm going for. But yeah, in here, there's loads of like good stuff. Pictures, lots of words. It gives you all the background to the Morats. And there's bits blurs like that. Some nice pictures, some different army colours. These books are definitely worth getting hold of if you're starting a new army. Gives you all the background, gives you some lovely pictures in there, and then what it does is it goes through all the different battle groups. Oh, yeah, just keep flicking through. I'll keep flicking through. See, it's got pictures. I looked at the pictures, and I've been reading it. But it also goes through each unit that you've got, so it gives you background to the units that you're using. So the jaw brutes. The red thing that I'm not too sure of. Yeah, give me a clue on what colour I should do that. It's sure got jaw brute. Tells you all about it. So it shows you all the units, all the blur behind each one. It's kind of lovely. Osnet hunting party, that's what we're using. Tyrock hunters. I do like the models for these Tyrock hunters. I do. I really do like them. They come out really nice. And it looks great. And the Anyat, she might come along. Painting guide. It's got painting guides and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. If you've got a new army, find the book, gives you all the stuff. These two definitely need to join my Morat hen party, I think. The Hacker and the Anyat, because yeah, should do really well. Yeah, you've seen them all already, so it's all pretty much what I've got already. That's going to be my HPVT because it's painted. Yep, so that's what I've done so far. I've got 6 days, so I've got a bit of a deadline, a lot of a deadline to get them last 2 models done. Should get the big fella done with the many arms. He shouldn't be a problem. Get the other one done, that might be a squeeze. So paint might be rare, still drying on it on Saturday when I'm driving over to play Void in that first game. So you should be seeing that game pretty soon. And again, below in the comments, any comments that you might have, any advice, any synergies, all that kind of stuff that help me, not the O12, help me in my victory of hunting down some O12. And with that, wish me luck.
Hello Fast Panda viewers, this is Tam. Bit of a vlog about my progress for the Taylor 4 Pandas with my ALF force. I'm running well behind schedule compared to everybody else, I feel like, but through the magic of editing at somebody else's hands, some pictures will get inserted into me talking, showing what I've done so far. There's still quite a bit to go, but I've got a couple of good solid days painting coming up this week. Hopefully should get them finished then. Settled on some bases, not settled on a scheme yet, they're just nicely primed grey. So any suggestions would be welcome. And we've got the beginnings of the next sort of stages of reinforcements I'm going to be including. We've got the Andromeda model. We've got Octavia Grimsdaughter, who I think is such a really nice sculpt, and some brawlers who I'll be using as just regular mercenaries, gun for hires, ALF dukes, call them what you will. They'll all be incorporated into the force at a future date. So I'm not going to waffle on for much further. We'll get you a better progress update and some better pictures when I've got them actually finished at the end of the week. And then I'm very excited to get going and play my first game and lay down the law on some dirty Yukari pirates. So until then, take care everybody, and I'll see you soon.
Hi, and this is just an added bit because today I've had a delivery. It's, by the way, it's Monday morning. This video is going up Monday night, so hopefully Stormshower can edit this bit in. Yeah, the postage just been, and we've got a delivery from people. It's always nice when we get stuff. So this is a paid for advertisement kind of thing because we got free stuff. You're interested in what we've got now, aren't you? I better show you really. We famously don't do unboxings. So here you go. Is a famously unboxing. So we have a box. Magical box, all sealed and everything. And this magical box is from these guys.
Yeah, these guys, Microwatt Studios. Ooh. Selling all kinds of stuff. So, check these guys out.
So thank you very much, Microwatt Studios. Let's see what we've got in the box. Peanuts. We have peanuts. And it's their new bundle, their alonmg bundle. Designed for a 28mm scale, scattered terrain for infinity. Always Berlin miniatures are not included. That's a shame. Yeah. Pre-painted stuff. That will be interesting. So yeah, cool. What else we got? We have, oh, there's oodles in here. Some minaret type things. Nice. A couple of buildings. You know what? These look great. And I guess this is the big one. Oh, no, it's two. There's two. There's this one, a larger building. There you go, quite a fair bit. And what are these? Oh, these are gates. That assumes that there are gates. Balls and stuff to buy separately. That's nice. Cool. So, the reason we're showing this is, right, because that's as far as unboxing as we're going to do. I'm not taking them all out of the packs and sniff burn MDF. Look at me. Okay, so yeah, they look cool. Thank you very much, Microwatt Studios, for sending these pre-order bundle to us. It looks great, but just taking them out of the box, it doesn't show you enough, does it, guys? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and build them and take them over to Void Spear, and our first 150 point game, we'll use them, see how we get on with it. Then we can kind of give you a proper test and that kind of thing, because what you really want to know is what lines of sight you can get around corners and stuff, isn't it, really? Which we can't do until we play a game. So I'll get them built in this next week, try and get them over, so in a couple of weeks time you'll see how we get on. Oh, my beard really wants trimming. Sorry about that, folks. If I can try and get them built in this next week, I can take them over to Void Trial. Start again. 3, 2.
Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. It all helps to keep us motivated and raises the profile of our channel and Infinity the game, bringing it to a wider audience. And don't forget, if you're so inclined, you can also find us on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you.